open up that Crystal Pepsi and get comfortable. This is Dope Nostalgia.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dope Nostalgia, episode 168 with me, your host, Naomi. And our special guest today is the sole primary member of an urban dance act, actually a Euro dance act that started out back in 87 and they're still touring today. They're called Urban Cookie Collective. And we're speaking with the lead singer, Danielle Barnett. She's one of the happiest, sweetest people I've met, and she's such a motivational speaker. So what a privilege to talk to her. You're going to hear that right away after I drop some information on you from Urban Cookie Collective.
Wikipedia moment.
Please bear in mind that Wikipedia is not to be taken as actual 100% fact. Any donkey could edit it at any time. If I'm reading you the artist's bio, that stuff is real truth.
Urban Cookie Collective are a British Eurodance band, best known for their 1993 hit single, The Key, The Secret. The band was founded by Rohan Heath, the son of Guyanese writer Roy Heath. He learned to play classical piano as a child before switching to the electric piano. He had previous experience with groups such as Yargo and Manchester DJ A Guy Called Gerald. Heath decided on a music career after abandoning a PhD at the University of Vermont. And after a tour of Japan supporting the Happy Mondays, he left the band A Guy Called Gerald to work with the rave band Together. Heath went on to work with Jamaican reggae artist Ika Mouse before concentrating on his new project, Urban Cookie Collective. He was the keyboardist, writer, and producer of their music. Heath wrote and produced their first hits, The Key, The Secret, and Feels Like Heaven. He brought in vocalist Diane Charlemagne for many of the group's early tracks. She eventually co-wrote some of the songs and became a major part of the band. The other main members were Simon Benthall, Peter Sampson, Johnny J, Mark Hadfield, and Neil Claxton. Guest rappers occasionally took part in the studio. The band caused some controversy in 1996 by recording a cover version of the Oasis song Champagne Supernova. Noel Gallagher of Oasis, who's the writer of the song, claimed that he had not given permission and legal action stopped the track from being given a full release. The band still remains active and currently tours fronted by singer Danielle Barnett. In 2014, Charlemagne was diagnosed with kidney cancer and she passed away of the disease in October 2015, aged 51. Danielle is here today to talk about all things Urban Cookie Collective, what she's been up to, and of course, we get to know a bit about her. Welcome, Danielle, to Dope Nostalgia.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to meet you, Danielle. Thank you for making time for me.
Pleasure. Look how gorgeous you are.
Oh, you're sweet.
I love your accent.
I love your accent, and thank you. Well, I'm Western Canada. So have you been to Canada before?
I have when I was a kid.
Where'd you go?
It. Oh, do you know what? When I was a kid, I used to travel all over the States. So we've been everywhere, but obviously Canada isn't America. I know that. But
yeah.
I think we went to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite remember where. I remember that we were there and there was massive floods happening.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember I was really young, but we were in an Airbnb thing, like a hotel, but it wasn't a hotel. It had a little balcony though. And I remember we were at the window by the balcony, looking out. My mum, my dad, me, and my sister, and there was cars floating down the hill from the flooding. Like really?
When was that?
This is years ago. I mean, I'm 48.
I'm 44. We're not that far apart.
Together.
But I know, but I'm just like, wow, like I want to know what history event this was because this isn't a normal thing here.
I don't remember. No, I know, right? Just happened.
Yeah.
This happened me and my son went a few years ago now to Barbados. The same thing happened, like on a cruise. We got off the cruise, driving around in a taxi. On the way back, the heavens opened and floods absolutely everywhere. And like I was going to the cab driver, is this normal? And he goes, not really.
Do you get floods in the UK?
Do we have floods? Oh, yeah, we have them here too.
Do you? I always feel like the UK is further up off sea level than some places. I always feel like maybe just because I've seen like the cliffs of Dover and things like that makes it look like it's so much higher than the sea level.
I know, right? No, there's certain parts of the UK that will be covered over by water within, I don't know, like Canvey Island, but near where I live, like about 45-minute drive. That's kind of sea level. It's built from there. So that's liable to flooding all the time. It's, we're all in the same world, isn't it? It's just some of us are higher up the mountains.
Exactly. It's just like I live in a place that's very landlocked. It takes 12 hours to drive from here to the ocean. 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really high above sea level.
Are you in the mountain? Are there mountains in?
I'm not. I'm actually east of the Rocky Mountains by about 3 hours.
See, so you're closer to the mountains than you are to the sea. I love the mountain.
The Rockies here are so gorgeous. I hope that if you haven't, you get to see them someday.
Oh, I hope so. One day, if it's meant to be.
You look gorgeous. So I know you're camera ready. You're good to go.
I just kind of like need to push it all up a bit, but we're all right.
We all do that in our 40s. Like,
I say facelift at 50, right?
Yeah. You know what though? I'm scared because like I'm afraid to ever go under the knife because of seeing things like Madonna right now.
I see, okay. Madonna, I'm seeing her in October. I'm the biggest fan, right? But she's had a lot of work done, God bless her. But you know what? She doesn't look her age, and good luck.
She didn't look her age before the surgery.
I know she's beautiful anyway. She was forever beautiful. She's just, I love Madonna. But then I grew up with her, didn't I? In the 80s.
Yeah, she's our queen.
She was on the ceiling. She was on my bedroom ceiling. Who gives a monk about men? I've got Madonna.
She taught us so much about being an independent and strong woman.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of like I wish she would have let herself age gracefully and shown us that it's okay to age. It's okay to wrinkle because she can do it and be so badass doing it. Like, you know so amazing.
That's the thing. Everybody's got so many like hidden insecurities and like things. So, you know, I'm one of those people that just believe as long as you're doing it for yourself and it makes you happy, like go do what you want to do. Like life is, you know, obviously as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Let me just put that in there. But like, I just think we're living in a world of just such opportunity everywhere, all around us, and it's expanding like exponentially. So if there's something that you want to do to enhance how you feel about yourself, then go for it. But I also do believe in that beautiful aging process where, you know, we are on this planet for a very short amount of time, and it's a natural, beautiful thing to get older. And, you know, we should embrace that too. So it's just down to the individual, isn't it? It's what makes you feel happy.
You're right. You are right. If it makes her feel happy, then go for it. Yeah. But it's true. We're all going to age. No one's going to escape it. No, so embrace how it's going to come at you, I guess, right?
Exactly.
I want to thank you so much for making the time. I don't know if you've heard about the podcast, but it's called Dope Nostalgia. And we talk with people who have hits that happened in the 90s and what they're doing now as well. So I know that you joined Urban Cookie Collective in the later part of the group's evolution. Now, what was your experience in joining the group? How did you find it? What happened?
Well, where does it start? Because I'm a speaker as well. I'm a motivational speaker, and I tell my life story as well. So I'll take little bits of it because we haven't got a whole day. But basically, I had a record deal with RCA Records, and the producer this is when I was 18. Oh no, about 20 years old now. And the producer for my track with RCA was Rowan Heath, who is the producer for Urban Cookie Collective. And my deal with RCA was going to be a #1 hit. Unfortunately, when it was due to be released, there was a massive event that happened that shocked the world, and that was Lady Princess Diana got killed, very sadly, and my record got shelved. So at that point, I was very, very hurt, and I just felt worthless at that point. So I decided to go into management because I didn't want to feel that way again. And I didn't want anyone that I worked with ever to feel those feelings that I felt, because it was like a punch in the gut. It was just awful. So I had a lot of success with a band that I managed called Point Break worldwide, and that was really, really fun. And then Rowan got in touch with me a couple of years in, and he said, Diane Charlemagne, who was absolutely a legend and an incredible singer, and I was very grateful to have met her a few times in my career, wonderful lady. She had decided to leave Urban Cookie Collective, and he was looking for someone to front Urban Cookie Collective, and this is 23 years ago. 23 years, although I am 21.
Yes.
But yeah, so he asked me if I wanted to do it, and my kind of like thing in life is to embrace everything, and so say yes. And like, so although I had my management hat on at the time, I also I just like making people happy, and that feeling of it's a connection when you're with an audience, you know, it's that one connection that we're all on that same energy, and there's nothing quite like it. So I literally said yeah, I just said yes. And then 23 years on, I'm still doing it. And I love my job, and I love my life, and I love every second, and I love people. So pretty much love.
Oh, you have such a good energy. Do you feel like, wow, that's crazy, because you've been the front person of Urban Cookie Collective longer than anyone.
Diane.
Yeah. Bless
Yeah.
her heart too. I know. Rest in peace to Diane and her, and we want to show so much honor to her legacy. What have you been able to learn about her that was really inspiring?
Do you know what? She's just such a well-respected artist, and she paved the way for a lot of the 90s kind of artists as well. You know, she's one of those, you know, she worked with Moby, she worked with Goldie, she worked with like just legendary artists, and she was a legend herself, and her voice is timeless. So to be able to, I would never, can't step into her shoes, because I could never fill her shoes. All I can do it is my way, you know, and be me. But to be able to have that opportunity that she created, the path and her voice that lifted that song to the heights that it did, that is just a beautiful thing, you know, to be involved in. So I just have to say thank you to her, and she'll hear. I actually feel like she's with me sometimes when I'm on stage, and I always say a little prayer before I go on, and I always say, are you with me today? And I get a little shiver because I feel like she's with me. And I'm really spiritual, in case you hadn't guessed.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. She's a wonderful, was and is and always will be a wonderful person.
I'm glad that you feel that sense of her being with you too. I think that's beautiful.
I do. She is part of, she's timeless.
The band name.
Yeah.
Did they ever fill you in on why and how they got that name, Urban Cookie Collective?
Do you know what? I did ask Rowan ages and years ago, but I have to explain that my memory isn't great. And it hasn't
That's
been great
okay.
for a few years now, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
So the aging process may not be kind to me. He had told me once, but I honestly don't remember why he got it. I don't think it was like it wasn't anything really that memorable what he said. So I think he just kind of got it together. But I can't answer that question because I don't remember.
Maybe it was just cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I don't think of Cookie. Well, I don't think of Cookie Monster or anything like that. Like I do love the word. Everyone loves the word cookie.
Yeah, chocolate cookies. Any day.
Any day. There was a bit of, from what I understand from reading Wikipedia, that there was a little bit of controversy with Oasis over the cover of Champagne Supernova. What can you tell me about that?
Well, I think, as I say with my memory, I think it was Noel Gallagher, one of the Gallagher brothers anyway, stopped it from being released at the time because they recorded it. So they stopped it from being released. But I still perform it because I love it. I love that song.
They can't do anything if you're doing it live.
Oh, this is it. And it's a brilliant song, and it was a good cover. Like, hey, you know what I do when I get Champagne Supernova on? I get everybody holding their iPhones with the light. I get everybody to get their little lights out and to spread a little bit of love, and I get everybody waving their iPhones, and it's just the most beautiful sight. Honestly, that is special when that happens. Yeah.
And now that I'm learning so much about you being obviously a public speaker, you told me that you've been doing that for years, and voice coaching.
And I'm an NLP master practitioner.
What does that mean?
Right, NLP, and I'm a life coach and hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist. So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, which is the way that you think, the words that you speak, and the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis. They shape your world. So by changing the way that you think and speak and the things that you do, you can literally change your world, and you can rewire your brain. And the more, I'm very into law of attraction, and like the more that you think negatively, that's just pulled to you. We're like magnets, we are energy. Like, we're all energy on this planet, so we're going to attract what we put out. So to fill your world with the most amount of things that you feel good about, and that's it. Embrace the not so good as well as the good, because you can. You can. It's all how we choose to look at things. Yeah,
that's wonderful. And I know I always need to hear that.
Oh, a lot of people do. I mean, I need to hear it as well sometimes, because it's just the normal emotion, isn't it? To get to look at something and go, oh no. But if you kind of look at it and go, okay, so that's happened, but what does that mean? What can that opportunity open up for me? Because I can't do this. What does that mean? What can I do instead? What's the possibilities? It's finding that possibility. Yeah. In an uncertain world.
There's a quote I always like that's life is 10% about what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
Oh yeah.
So if you look at it as, yes, this didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but I always think it happened for a reason. Always. That wasn't the path I was supposed to be on.
Always. And you know what? The more you fight against something, there's no point. The thing is, at the end of the day, the big things in life are the stuff that you can't control. Literally, the main big things we cannot have any say over, and anything less than something, it might feel big to you, and it, that can increase anxiety or anxiousness. But it's literally how you look at it through different perspectives, and keeping from a place of present, of calm, and of now. Everything can be sorted out, because that's the stuff you really can control at the end of the day. So the big stuff you can't, but
you can control your reaction to things. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, being a voice coach, how have you taken care of your voice over the years, whether it be on the road? What do you do when you're feeling a little vocal strain? What kind of tricks do you
Right.
have up your sleeve?
So for me, warming up is like essential, like really essential. So every gig, I have this like marathon warm up that it's just scales, but it takes me all the way down and all the way up.
Mhm.
And it literally just opens up your voice. Steaming is just magic. So I've got one of those China kind of steamers that with the glass things, and I literally
Ooh.
inhale with that, and it's so good, and it opens up your throat, your, just gets you ready, hydrates your vocal cords. Vocal zone, I live by. I love vocal zone, which like is like a little sweet that tastes really sharp.
I don't know if we have that here. We must.
Ah,
Vocal zone. Cool.
vocal zone, they're really good. And also some other people might not agree with me, but for me personally, I like a sugary orange juice, like a J2O. I don't know if you have that over there.
What's J2O?
Right. So it's like a mixer. I don't drink alcohol, but that is really
I
dehydrating
do.
anyway. Well,
Sorry.
lots of us do. I used to. I
Yeah.
used to a lot, but like no, now
Yeah.
I kind of don't. But like I'm quite. I'm like, I think my party days are so. I'm the kind of person
Nah,
that goes to bed at 10 o'clock at night. Now I'm like, I'm knackered.
I'm feeling it. I get you. I feel it. I can't do what I used to.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I still love every second, but I'm an early riser. I'm up at like 5 a.m, so getting up early riser. I love it. So
So
yeah,
J2O is like a,
H2O,
is it
it's
like
like an
juice?
orangey. It's like it's a mixer. So like like fresh orange. I mean, if I haven't got J2O, I'll have a fresh orange, but that's a bit more astringent. Is that the word?
Astringent? Yeah.
Astringent. That's probably the word.
Acidic?
Yeah. This and J2O is a little bit more sugary, so I find it lines my throat a little bit. So I like a J2O before I sing. But
Oh, okay. I'm an
that's
orange
just
juice addict, so I don't know. But when I have orange juice, I get that frozen from concentrate, the frozen one, and just
yeah.
add how much water I want to it. That's what I drink. But
Nice. Yeah. Oh, orange juice. Nice.
have you ever had an incident vocally, whether you had a real sickness or something that made you like scared about what's happening with your voice? Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition.
Oh, yes, I've
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah. Now, before I got diagnosed, I'd been to the doctor multiple times, and I always had my thyroid tested, and it came back I was all right.
Mhm.
But I was getting iller and iller. And at one point it was like razors cutting my throat every word I said. When my son was a baby, it was hard to speak to him a bedtime story because every word I spoke was like a razor blade cutting my throat. I was so ill. And I went to a specialist at that point, and he did my bloods. And he came and he said, I have severe thyroid condition and it's Hashimoto's. And normally he'd be taken it out, but my thyroid was actually almost dead at the moment, like at that point, so there was no point in even taking it out. I was severely ill, and so I'm on levothyroxine for life. So yes, I know that feeling where you just, the pain is just intense. But as I say, my routine, I've always got through. My sets are quite short as well. They're like 3 songs, 4 songs. So with the right with Hashimoto's, it brings a whole multitude of different conditions. It's an autoimmune condition. So I'm thankful for everything that I can do rather than things that I can't do.
Yeah.
So I've kind of just got through. I've always got through, and I've always been all right. And it's amazing what you can do, even when you think you can't do it,
That's
So,
true.
yeah. I've always got through it. And I have had I had nodule surgery as well at one point, going back years. This is when I had my I had loads of medical stuff going on with me. But I've had lots of different things, but I know exactly that feeling when your instrument is not working properly to full effect. But do you know what? We are resilient. We get through things, and we just treat ourselves kindly and do what we can do. And like that, if that means not speaking for like a day or two before or after, then that's what you do. And you just warm up carefully and just be kind to yourself. Like that's it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's the key too, is the secret. The key, I'm so cheesy. I think it's like you got to realize, okay, well, I can't do what I did when I was 20. I need to smooth my way into things. Like you said, proper warm-ups. You can't just hurt yourself. You got to make sure you keep yourself hydrated, all of those things, right?
Absolutely. You just, that's it. That's why I don't drink as well, because I'm so grateful of feeling well, like, or better than I used to. I mean, at the time when I got diagnosed, it was like I couldn't talk, I couldn't speak, I couldn't like balance. It was really, really challenging at that time. And you know, every year that goes by where I'm getting older, I'm more and more grateful for how I actually feel, and I just concentrate on the good rather than the not so. You know,
well, you're glowing, you look healthy, you look like you're doing the right things, so that's amazing.
Thank you. I'm happy. I'm just a happy person.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dope Nostalgia listeners, I love you, and I thank you so much for being a part of this show and its success over the last 2 years. We have what's called Patreon for those who want to support the show financially. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a subscriber and get bonus content, early podcast release, all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff, and more. There's different tiers of membership starting at only $1 a month. And we even have some special merch for you guys who are in it for the long run. So please join our Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/dope nostalgia.
Throw on your Jinkos, Baby Tees, and Doc Martens, grab your Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper, and join Jackie and Danielle on a journey to the late 90s as we reminisce about the movies of our youth on the No More Late Fees podcast. Don't forget your flannel and butterfly clips. And remember, be kind and rewind.
Barks, the one with bite! What do you mean Barks has bite? Johnny? What do you mean Barks has bite? Johnny? What do you mean Barks has bite? Oh, hey, man! What do you mean Barks has bite? Here, try some of this. Ouch! I haven't seen him that excited since he got his heels. Ouch! You tell him, Johnny! You tell the world!
What were you doing in the early 90s? First of all, you would have been in your teens, right?
I was, yeah. So I was born, so I said 74, so 84. I was about 15, 16 probably. Yeah.
Like, who were you listening to? Who were your musicians in that era that you influenced you? What was going on in your teenage life?
In my well, you see, I'm a big 80s fan as well, like Level 42, Scritti Politti, T'Pau, you know, all those, Belinda Carlisle, all of these artists, Go West as well, all of these artists I've just been touring with last year as well. I've just did a massive tour in the UK, and all of these artists were on with me as well. So I was like, every day it was like a switch up. I was going, I was like meeting these people that I'd grown up listening to, and you know, it was incredible. Madonna I'm going to see, I said, in October, which I'm extremely excited about. But my 90s was kind of like Baby D, Rosala, who I'm really good friends with now, obviously.
I love Rosala. Say hi. She's been on the show twice. I absolutely adore her.
She's a love. She's one of my really good friends, and I'm so grateful to know her. Obviously, Entrance, and all of the classics. You know, I'm that person. I'm the 80s, 90s chick that is just inspired by music, and one song that can just take you right back there. You just have to shut your eyes and listen to that song, and you can be right how you were back in the 90s. It's very we're so lucky to have that, you know. We're very lucky to have all of our senses and be able to experience everything that we want.
Senses are crazy. Like even a scent can take you back.
Yeah. A scent, so powerful. Like that's, yeah, it's one of the most powerful things. It can just, we are so gifted with what we can do, you know, and yeah, it's just taking notice of that as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Who did you get to meet during all this time that was a big influence on you that stands out?
Do you know what? Because of my history, like with the record deal that I had, and then obviously it didn't happen, and then the management, and then obviously the Urban Cookie, that early part of my life I felt like, I mean, I'm very different now as a person. Like before, I just wanted to be, I wanted to be that person that was on the stage with the big feather boa that I mesmerized in the club, watching them on stage. You know, remember Strike? You sure do. Yeah.
No, I don't.
You sure make me feel like loving you, loving you. Yeah, babe. Oh my gosh. Well, she was one of my 90s idols as well. Because I suppose because in Canada, you might not have had her over there, but she was a big artist in the UK. And I saw her in a club one night and I just thought, I want to be you. So that person was who I was kind of back then. It made me very driven and resilient, and I was very bullied. So I kind of developed a sense of humor to kind of laugh at myself before everyone else laughed at me. And it helped me get through things. And I was bullied for like all my school life, like from primary through to secondary school. So it was really quite challenging. So after my record deal, I had that lack of self-worth still. So it was almost kind of like when I was doing my management, I had that hat on that was like very driven. And it wasn't like anyone that I met, it wasn't, oh my gosh, I'm meeting you, which I was like when I met Sting. Believe me, I met Sting once and I was like, oh my goodness, you're Sting. And he looks down at me, he went, yeah, like that. And I went, oh, why? I was like, Sting.
Yeah.
But you know, I have never really been like that. I've always tried to be that person to try and get to that, you know, when I was younger. And it's only later on in life that I kind of took a step back and kind of went, after my NLP, you know, my NLP, all my accreditations, and we had to do a lot of work on ourselves at that point when we were doing all the courses. And oh God, I had issues I didn't even know I had. But I got rid of them at that point. And at that point, my self-worth returned. You know, this is going back about probably 7 years now, and you know, and at that point, I allowed myself to be in awe of the people around me. And it was then, you know, like last year when I did those tours with the 80s people that I listened to growing up, I literally was just, every time I met someone, I was like, oh my gosh, I listen to you every day on my radio, on my cassette player, you know, my cassette. And I used to record them from the top 40 because that's what we used to have over here with with a cassette tape. And it was just, and record and pause, but like with the adverts.
And wait for the DJ to stop talking.
That's it, right? That's it.
Oh, we all did that. Oh yeah.
Oh, and I'm truly in awe of some of the people I've met, like Stevie Wonder. Like I was on the UK version of Shark Tank as well. So Dragon's Den over here, we had a product that we released, and it allowed me to meet some incredible artists like Coldplay. Like Coldplay's producer used our light lead when we were promoting that, and we met Stevie Wonder, and just like,
that's so cool.
Sometimes you just take a step back and you kind of just go, has that actually happened?
Well, there's two things here I want to cover. First of all, Stevie Wonder seems to be one of those people that when I've asked this question, comes up a lot. That Stevie Wonder has been the most exciting person that a lot of people have had the opportunity to meet. He means a lot to a lot of people.
Oh, he's another timeless legend that will never be replaced. Like, he's an incredible artist. Like, it's just that voice. That voice is God's gift, isn't it?
And then you mentioned the Dragon's Den. We have a Canadian Dragon's Den that's based off the UK Dragon's Den. So I know of the show. My question to you is it available to see the episode you were on? Is it up on like YouTube or anything? Because I would love to see it.
I think it is on YouTube, and it's had over 1 million views.
Nice.
My episode, yeah. So if you search what the product that we had was called the Light Lead, but all one word. And it was the world's first analog optical guitar cable. So it was a guitar cable that was made. The signal could be light, but it was an analog sound, not rather than digital. So it was a crystal clear, perfect perfect sound. That's what it was.
No sound deterioration throughout the transfer is basically it.
None at all. And it was incredible because another band that I managed at the time, who we'd had a lot of success in the UK with, was a band called Freefaller, and we were doing a gig in front of a big radio FM, kind of roadshow thing, and they were a live band, and they went on stage to play. And as the guitarist went to play his first note, a radio station came blaring out the amps, and it was the most like, what is going on? Well, I was side of stage. And Dave, who was my partner, my business partner, was in the middle of the audience, and like we were telepathing with each other, kind of going, what's going on? And it works out, it was the guitarist cable, and it was acting as a pickup. It was capacitance, and it was picking up a radio signal. So we changed the cable, did the gig, it went on, but we tried to buy an optical guitar cable, and we couldn't buy one. So we made one, and that was it. That was the start of the live lead. Yeah,
I've definitely experienced that. Or a radio signal comes in from somewhere and you're like, why is this happening? And everyone's telling me, oh, your cable's stripped or something like that.
That's it. And it's a cable that you use all the time. You don't even, there's nothing wrong with it, as far as you're concerned. And then all of a sudden it just stops. That's it.
Okay, well, it's a good product what you've got going on. I like that.
It was. Oh, we don't do it anymore, unfortunately.
It's not available anymore.
We never actually got it to manufacture because it was too expensive to manufacture.
Yeah,
but that was the problem. But we got offered a deal on Dragon's Den.
Cool.
But yeah, we got offered something. But it was not right for us. We wanted to concentrate on the sound and the quality, and the Dragons wanted to do more like a mass manufacture, which would have degraded the sound, and it wasn't right for us. So we
that would be pointless then.
Yeah, we just kind of moved on, and I wasn't really that kind of a person either. The business world isn't, well, I say the business world, but that world wasn't really for me. I'm more of an NLP girl.
Fair enough. What are some of, when you think about Urban Cookie Collective, what are some of your favorite qualities of your bandmates?
It's only me. It's only me on stage.
It's only you.
It's
only you.
23 years, it's only been me.
I didn't realize. I thought that there was a backing band with you.
Nope, it's me. Me on stage. That is it.
That's awesome.
Just little old me in front of 30,000 people going, hi.
You are the face of everything. That's awesome.
Oh, bless you.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I didn't realize there was no band with you.
That's fine. No, Rowan, who's obviously the original of Urban Cookie, is my manager for Urban Cookie, and but he's never been on stage with me. He's never performed. That's it. His performing days have been done.
Fair enough. Edit that out.
That's it. That's okay.
Now, when you do festivals, you've probably done some really cool festivals in Europe and whatnot. Have you done festivals in other countries as well?
Oh yeah, we do a lot in Europe. I've done Dubai as well. Dubai. Where else have I done? Memory. All over Europe, obviously. I'm trying to think. I think we had a tour offered in Australia, but then COVID hit. So we didn't end up doing that tour, but that would have been incredible. That was I think it was like a 5-date tour of Australia. And I think at one point Canada was meant to be on the schedule. I think at one point Canada was meant to be on there.
We
But
have
that
a
never.
few nostalgia tours with acts from Europe that do come through quite a bit. So I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if you're not doing it soon, that you might be able to come here soon.
That would be great. Wouldn't
If you
it?
come to my city, I'll be there. I'll come see you.
You better. I want a personal tour, babe.
I'll take you. I'll show you all the sites.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have a current project that you're working on?
No, not with urban cooking. No, it's literally the nostalgia. That is
Yeah.
it. That's it.
That's fair. What about you? What are you doing on your own under your name?
Well, I just kind of go out doing my urban cookie thing. I've got my NLP thing going on. I'm a speaker. I tour on cruise ships. So I travel the world being a speaker and talking about everything really and making people feel happy. That's kind of my mission in life. And the most important thing, obviously, is I'm a mum as well. So my son's 13. So yeah, I kind of like do a lot, and I run some studios where people rent stuff from me. So yeah, I kind of do a lot of different things. Teach my local coaching. Yeah, it's good. I keep myself quite busy.
I wish. Your energy is so inspiring, and it makes me feel amazing just chatting with you. So I really appreciate the fact that I've gotten to meet you today. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Do you know what? I did a gig on last Friday, and it was for the Fashion Awards. It was a last minute thing that came up, and Brian May was there. Brian May was there with his wife, Anita Dobson. Oh God, it was just amazing, and that was just amazing. What was I going to say? See, my memory's just gone. My mind is gone.
No, it's okay. Because we were talking about like what you've been up to lately. And then we were talking about like how positive you've been.
Oh, yes, that was that. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. So you see, I'll tell you, my brain, I'm not joking. So
I do this all the time.
Oh, I really do. There had a text from someone that was at that gig saying that she'd seen me a few times over the years, and I'd got her up to dance because I when I do a kind of a smaller thing, I get people up and we have I get everyone up on the dance floor. We have a party, right? We start the party, and I got this lady up, and she said, this lady was just wonderful. She made my day. She said that she'd been pushing herself to get out of her comfort zone because she'd had stage 4 cancer, and she was 2 years in the clear of that, and she now says yes to do everything to open her up. And she said that it made her whole, just made her just so happy, and she went back feeling like she hadn't done for a long time. And as she sent me that text, I was like, you know what, that's why I love doing what I do, because I just want love, happiness, peace, all of the beautiful things that we have in life. I want more of that, and that means the world to me. Just that feedback is that one person went home feeling better than they have for years, and like that is just magic. So yeah, it was brilliant. That's where I went with my brain cell.
That's okay. We are on track. Oh, well, once again, I want to thank you so much, Danielle, for your time today. And I can't wait for this episode to come out. It'll probably be out in about a month. I'll make sure I message you the week of.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Naomi. And you're beautiful.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Raindrops keep falling down, see the sunshine through the clouds, and
Social media, yeah, we've got it. Send us an email, dopenostalgiapodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, Nostalgia Dope. Or on Insta, dope_nostalgia.
This podcast is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work.